There's not really any point me sitting with the starting screen since the vertical people can see me anyway. Hello everyone. Happy Thursday. We're here. We're doing it again. Oof. I have been resting a lot the last couple of days, so it's been nice. Hello Tasty, Queza, Landa, Warlock, Doromiko, hello. Ben, hello. Dottie, hello. Sanguinary, hello. Welcome on in. Hi Evan. Double mic? Okay. Cool. Sound settings. Input, default. Audio enhance. Off. Did that fix it by any chance? Or no? Did it fix it? Great. Cool. Windows is such a cool system. What an incredible thing that you just have to, I literally just have to go in, turn a setting on and turn a setting off. It's actually crazy, but here we are. Okay, I might have to let Pixel out. She's gonna want to go out and come back in, I think, but go on, you can go out, go on. Definitely not intentional though. So you may be wondering why I've had a couple of days off, and it's because I needed to perform a heist. All right? I actually had to go through a series of extremely difficult steps in order to acquire something that I was not going to be able to acquire unless I went through the several steps. Now, everybody I know is away. My sister's on a tropical holiday and my dad is away as well. And in order to get to the thing I needed to retrieve, I had to break in to my sister's house. Now, you think I'm joking. I'm not. To get into my sister's house is actually, it requires two people. Like you literally can't get in the door with one person. Like you need two people. So I had to employ my mother. Thanks, Harvestside. I'm so glad that you like it on phone. I thought it might be better for some people. It took ages. But then I was able to sneak into my sister's house. Then I was able to go to a very specific cupboard and find in a bowl of keys my father's ones. Now, how did I figure out my father's keys? I was able to figure out my father's keys by the ones with the correct car on them, but there were so many keys that I was like, looks like a fucking party here. What is going on? And then I was just sifting through them and I found them. And then I had to go then break into my father's house. But after doing so, I retrieved my copy of The Hobbit from 1996. And look, it has pictures. Isn't that so fun? Isn't that so fun? So I have performed a heist. I then had to leave my dad's, lock it up, return, break into my sister's house again, return the keys. And then, do you know what I mean? There was a lot of breaking and entering, and I felt really good about it. It felt good. Anyway, welcome on in. If you're just joining us, hello, happy Thursday. I'm so glad we are winding down the end of this week. I am here tonight, tomorrow night, and then Sunday. Hey! Masha Nimmer, thank you for the 19 months. First cab off the rank. Do you know, that's not even going to be a saying. soon. People will forget what that even means. Were you wearing a tight black leather jumpsuit and cat ears? Just assume that I was. Just assume that I looked like Michelle Pfeiffer. Just assume that I was that good looking while I was doing it. But no more books. It lasted 3 days. Well, this is one that I already had. This doesn't count. And also, this is very specific to maybe some of the things that are coming up. You know? Some of the little card games that I might be playing soon. Some of the packs that we potentially might be cracking as I shill for subscribers in order to buy them. Do you know what I mean? No women in this book, and people accuse me of hating men. Crazy. Not a single one. So, I mean, there is, but no named ones. Like, you know what I mean? Where? Was there a laser grid? I could have done a laser grid. Miss Pixel and her Magic the Gathering fixation. I'm sorry, I like playing cards with my friends. It's fun. How can you tell with dwarves? I mean, look, let's be honest. Lord of the Rings doesn't pass the Bechdel, I don't think. Okay? J.R.R. Tolkien, incredible story, world building. You know, there's even some good women in there. But, you know. Your beef is with Tolkien. I don't even have beef with Tolkien. It's of a time when we didn't really consider women as much. You know? What do you mean? Why would that be important? Isn't the dragon female? Smaug? Well, if that doesn't say it all. Maybe I should cosplay as a dragon. I don't think I've got it in me. Or is that Shrek? I'm pretty sure it's Shrek. Smaug's an asshole? No shit. Oh, yep, she wants to come back in now. I knew this would happen. Come on. Hi, MDA. Lovelies. Anybody else who was just joining us? Hello, happy Thursday. But I did have a really nice time. I started watching the latest season of Alone. And the latest season of Alone is the World Championship. So there's people from all over the world competing, not just Americans. There's an Aussie guy, there's a Kiwi, there's an Indigenous person from like northern Canada, I think. I feel like it looks like it'll be a good season. Obviously, trigger warning, there's, you know, hunting and stuff, but I always find watching something like Alone really puts so much, it puts so much into perspective, even when I'm like I am really under the weather. Like, my body is under the weather, but I don't have to hunt my own food. I do have to go and buy it, but I don't have to hunt it. I don't have to process a rabbit and...
Congratulations to your excellent infiltration initiative.
Thank you.
You continue to impress the council, and more operations may be in store. Your award in plastic and cardboard card-shaped tokens shall be in your account in due time.
Perfect. That's exactly how I want to be paid for my sneaky behavior. I think I would starve if I had to hunt my own food. Well, this show basically shows how so many people would starve if you had to hunt your own food. Hi Flozzy. I'm okay. My mum cooked me some very simple but yummy meals of like steamed vegetables and barramundi, not basa. That's right. I had perch and barramundi the last 2 days with my mum. So that was pretty good, I would say. Probably better than the basa. The barramundi was so delicious. Were you sick at all after the basa? I wouldn't have known. Harvestad.
Also, I hope you get to feeling better soon. Do partake in all the comforting consumables as is required and wanted.
No, truly, that's the only reason I'm trying to get better so quickly is because I miss food. like a Fawsy level dinner. I would love to like just go out to a restaurant and eat food and have a glass of wine. Hi, Vox. Do you still have to vacate the premises? No. My housemate is here. She seems okay. So I'm back now. And I don't think I'll get sick. And if I do, well, that's the way it goes.
Tasty Velociraptor gifted a tier 1 sub to Histamine Blast. They have given 1962 gift subs in the channel.
Lol. Tasty. Hilarious. I do miss eating leafy greens. Why can't you eat leafy greens? Oh, because of the fucking bug. The explosive diarrhea bug. You can't eat leafy greens anymore? Hey. Can we not do that? See, she's going to go out. This is going to be me all night until she decides to settle. So, just prepare yourself. Go on. Me, up and down, up and down, up and fucking down. Can't eat leafy greens without a diaper on. Can you not even wash them enough to eat them? Also, is the explosive diarrhea everywhere in America? Or just certain states? Incel, you and me both at the moment. It's gonna be? It's in 30 states? Bro. That's... It's in a big company's supply chain, stores all over the country. Oh, God. Up and down, tell me about it. I have 2 border collies. So does my sister. Attack of the Killer Taco Bell lettuce. Cannot wash it completely clean. It needs to be 158 degrees. Okay, guys, you've just... All right, we're doing... guys, you have to be spiritually Chinese. I'm so sorry. But for the foreseeable future, while you are fighting the explosive diarrhea, you have to think about it and you need to be spiritually Chinese and everything needs to go in a soup and be boiled. Okay? Every leafy green in a soup, boiled. You need to boil all of that stuff. Oh, it's a parasite, not bacteria. Can't wash
Tasty
it.
Velociraptor gifted a tier 1 sub to Devil's Lettuce. They have given 1963
Stop, that's so
gift
funny.
subs in the channel.
Stop, that's so funny. Does it work for the parasite? It's a parasite that's barely bigger than bacteria. Somebody check. It can hide in the folds? Well, that's why you want to boil it to death. In steaming hot water. Cooking can kill the parasite. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm telling everybody to be spiritually Chinese and put everything in a soup. Which sucks because I'm pretty sure it's your summer, right? Because it's winter here. And who wants to have soup during summer? Sorry about that. It's a real salady kind of time, but oh well. There are cold soups, yes, but you want it to be hot because, oh, well, I guess you can have gazpacho or something. Maybe Trump will sit on the shitter when he has to hand over a certain trophy. We can hope. Okay, so guys, I'll give you a little bit of news that you might not have gotten yet, but we got it here in Australia today. You guys know Trump had to pay back billions of dollars in tariffs that were classed illegal. Like, you guys know that, right? So that's kind of funny and hilarious, but it probably does mean he isn't going to stop bombing the Strait. So that's a little less good. That's old news. Either way, some Australian companies got money back today. So I haven't seen any of that money. Well, Australia saw some of it. Yeah, none of it's going to consumers. It's only going to the business. What do you mean? Like, these businesses are getting it back. It's what do you mean? Consumers will suffer. We always do. Of course it doesn't go back to the people. Can't wait for my $2 in a decade from the class action lawsuit. Truly. Trump tonight going to do some election shenanigans in a speech. When is Trump not doing shenanigans? I swear to God. Yeah, it's 13 hours. Cool. So tomorrow night's stream's going to be a real hoot and a half. Can't wait. On the Parasite. Y'all need to shoot anyone telling you that you can simply wash off a parasite embedded into the skin and even the folds and creases of a lot of these produce. A parasite that is resistant to bleach, chlorine, and vinegar, by the way. But can you not boil it? Like, let's not wash it, but can you boil it? No commercially frozen produce has been linked to the parasite, so get bulk frozen veggies. Are you about to have a toilet paper situation here? You can boil it, yes. This is what I'm saying. Everything dies when boiled. That's what I mean. Guys, you got to be smart about it. You got to boil things. You posted a video in 200 IQ on how to stay safe from the parasite. I do think people are a little lax about food hygiene sometimes. I'm sure that's how I got sick. You know, whether it was a bad oyster or just too much wine or whatever, like, how to be safe, don't eat the green stuff that's infected. Wow, that's so genius of you to say. Don't eat green stuff. Well, it doesn't help that we've gotten rid of regulations intended to keep us safe. No, it doesn't. But that's because we're descending into fucking chaos. It is crazy when your safe foods no longer become safe, though, as someone who's experienced that. That being said, I ate an egg and it has not affected me poorly. So it feels like I can definitely have an egg here and there and not have it be a problem, which is nice. Just gotta build up my immune system and I'll be good to go in no time again. That or I get a fecal transplant. I don't know if I could do it. I just don't know if I could do it. I just don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, that sounds so yummy, Fawzi. The CDC lost all its funding? Yeah, because remember, Fauci's a scammer. And the CDC is a scam. Don't you remember? What's a disease? And why do we care? Poor people should just die. Remember? That's what he said. He doesn't care. Trump doesn't care if poor people die in the US. He does not give a flying fuck. In fact, I think part of him hopes it happens. If you can eat insect vomit, you can get a fecal transplant. Hilarious. Well done. Hi, Demon. Love your lipstick. Oh, thanks, Sally. I don't feel very pretty tonight, so I really appreciate your compliment. Whatever happened with the screw worms? I'm pretty sure the screw worms are still around too. I'm almost sure there's still screw worms. Yes, that's why we don't tell anyone, Punky. You're as neuro sorry. You've got bigger problems. But it's called masking, guys. It may give you an autoimmune condition, but learn to do it. Sorry. Guys, I need to be very clear. There is going to be a large amount of sarcasm on the stream tonight. We're going to need some disclaimers, I fear. But yeah, have you heard of masking? Try it. More or less than normal. I don't know. Just do it to the level I do it. No one will ever know. The rest of the world is going to catch up to us soon. There's bird flu in NZ. Yeah, and here too, Bradley. There's been less viral news stories about the states either restricting meat imports or tracking new screwworm themselves. There's a new bird flu? Is it just not there's a new one? Cool. I remember, even though the last 2 months of my life were extremely stressful, I do remember the time of just not knowing about any of this because I was too busy. Can't have a problem if you don't track it. That's what the last 2 months felt like for me. Bird flu 2 electric poopaloo. I hate that. I hate that, Vic. No testing, no reporting, everything is fine. Just overwhelmed hospitals, healthcare workers, everybody's in debt because they can't afford it. You know, people are needlessly dying because they refuse to go to the hospital as well or see a doctor. Sure. Cool.
Fegures gifted a tier 1 sub to Sarcasm Powered. They have given 62 gift subs in the channel.
Me? So powerful. Does this settle the question on whether you're streaming today? I need clarity. I am streaming today. You're welcome. Feel free to thank me any way you see. Well, any way that makes it obvious to other people that you're really grateful that I'm here, as I am trying to start a religion. But it will be the one good one. So, you know, spread that shit around. Yeah, that's what I mean, Vox. They refuse to go to hospital because they don't want to be in debt. And then they just die. Thanks, Calidus. Yes, chat, if you're here right now, I'm here tonight, I'm here tomorrow night, and then I'm here Sunday during the day.
You can't just tell everybody it's a cult when they first come in. You'll scare
Wait, that makes me seem so cool. You're an active recruiter. Thank you so much. MDA. Thank you. You're my new favorite chatter. You've been promoted. Don't know to what, but to something. Hi, Roger. Yeah, Harvestside, you've fallen so far.
Lander 486 gifted a tier 1 sub to thanks.
It's okay, Lander. You're still above Harvestside. Harvestside's way down now. I'm joking. Am I number one? Not quite. I would never let anybody know that they were number one because then you'd have nothing to aim for. And that would be rude. That you have to have something to aim for. You're wearing my favorite shirt. Well, actually, this shirt was gifted to.
Thank you for saving us from our boredom, Smixelbliss.
What is a good woman for? Sorry. You're so welcome. I don't even think I'm being that entertaining. So, but you have great taste. Anonymous. So, you're welcome. At least I'm not Jazz. Not Jazz copying a stray. You're not wrong. My housemate gifted me this jumper, actually. And it's warm. So, it's not as funny because Jazz isn't here yet. It's one money. Strawman will watch it in a bit. The shirt is an amazing cross between Bert and Ernie. Vegas, guys, this is the third time this year that a piece of my clothing that isn't this piece of clothing I've been referred to as Bert and Ernie. This is the third time. It's the third time. It's the third time. Am I Sesame Street core? See, I wore a bikini in Thailand, and one of my friends was like, "You look like Bert and Ernie." And then one other person said it on Instagram. And so that's 3 times. I've been called Bert and Ernie in 3 different situations. It's fine. I don't know what that could mean. I don't know either. What does a bikini look like, Bert and Ernie? I tell you what, if we hit both goals tonight, that's so OnlyFans of me. I can't do that. I nearly put a bikini shot in the Instagram thing, but then I realized AI is a thing, and I'm so uncomfortable posting it. No, I want to show you the bikini now. I wouldn't put it on. I'll show you a photo of the bikini, but not unless I am lavished with gifts all night. As unfortunately, this is the internet, and the internet is forever, and I'm an entrepreneur. So, you're worried the weirdos will use AI? I'm already worried the AI weirdos do AI weirdo shit already. It's fine. But I just, I'd rather less ammunition than more. But also, you got to live your life. And also, who cares that much? Not me. You could search the world and never find such good goop. That's crazy. Strawman, 60. And a sneaky tier 3. Thank you so much. No, I was just told that my bikini looked like Bert and Ernie. Are they not training the AI bots on publicly available live streams now anyways? Yeah. Honestly, being a content creator in the age of AI is certainly interesting. Like, yeah, I know, Party Hardy. That doesn't make me feel any better. I don't know what it's going to look like. Maybe one day, I don't know. Who knows? All I can do is take it one day at a time and try and survive and have a bit of fun along the way. I assume that's what all you guys are going to do as well. And in the meantime, I will watch alone and learn how to survive in the wild, which I'll definitely be able to do, and read my little fantasy books and learn to sleep again, because I'm on 4 hours again. And I have 1 pill left. So I'm going to take that tonight and hope for the best. But yes, I can see you hunting for low histamine food in Alone. Chat, what color nail? I'm getting my nails redone again tomorrow. What color should I get? I don't know. What should I red and yellow? I hate you. I hate purple on me. Red, green, and yellow. Dark blue? I haven't had dark blue in a while. Maybe dark blue. I haven't had dark blue in a while. That's not the worst idea. Dark blue with glitter? Maybe a dark blue cat eye or something. Drug addict brown. Guys, come on now. I haven't seen it yet, so let's not talk about spoilers for the Odyssey. It's okay, guys. I know the whole story. But has anybody booked tickets? Is anyone going? Not really. I don't care that much, incel. See, there's this guy called Odysseus. Wow, that's crazy. Hey, Shellbug. I'm going twice, once for me and once for Elon. If you meet your sub goals, I can do the voice of Ernie in a bit for you. Can we not? We're going to forget the Sesame Street elements of this stream now, and we're going to move forward to the serious intellectual conversations surrounding the Odyssey. Stoobs said it was better than expected. I do know who Stoobs is. I'll watch it when I can do so in the comfort of my own home. Well, I'm annoyed because all the IMAX tickets are sold out. So I have to go to like an IMAX theater that is like, it's an IMAX theater, but it's not the IMAX theater. And there's basically no tickets left for the run. Look, Christopher Nolan, hate him or love him, the guy knows how to make an epic movie. Do you know what? Yeah. I saw the funniest thing. It was something along the lines of Hollywood has now spent like $600 million trying to get Matt Damon home. And it was The Odyssey, The Martian, what are the other ones Matt Damon are in? There's at least 2 more where he's trying to get home. Saving Private Ryan and Interstellar. And it's like, it's funny. There's definitely still a voice acting of mine to come out, but I don't know if my character is in that cartoon for however long. She's just a side character, so. I haven't watched Saving Private Ryan in a really long time, actually. Matt Damon went to the store for milk and he still hasn't returned. Apparently, nearly everybody in this movie gives a Korea best performance, and that is on a director and the way a director handles a set. Like, it's impressive. Like, you don't actually realize how skilled these people are when you're watching these movies and just enjoying them through. Like, the first time I watch this through, I am going to try and just enjoy it for what it is and just really be there. And then when it comes out, and I can watch it on the couch, I'll probably watch it again. That's so funny, Vic. He's got a typecast. Leave it to Nolan to get a good performance out of John. Hello, Vajesh. Can someone help me? What's the movie where all the main characters get shot near the end? I don't know. People are calling it horror movie levels of scary in some parts. Well, yeah, I think so. I think it is an epic, and I do think it is scary. And I don't know if anybody else wants trigger warnings, but apparently, like, dog trigger warnings. Hey, Tiny, the pox hasn't got me yet. You might get lucky with tickets. Seems to have a pretty long run in IMAX. I'm seeing dates up to the 5th of August. Oh, I was just looking at the first 2-week run, but then it was over. If there's still a ticket by August, I might go have a look in the proper one. Yeah, I think so, Strawman. I think it's like, you know that movie, is it called Hachi? With the dog, and the dog just like sits there and waits for his owner. Like, no spoilers for the Odyssey, if you know what I mean. It's been a long time. I'm sorry, I'm not taking any shit for spoiling the Odyssey. But yeah, I would say it's, a little like that. The old story is pretty scary. I blame Homer. Yeah. It's only been 5,000 years. I've barely had time to read it. Yeah, it's on IMAX cameras for every scene. And on an IMAX camera, you can only film like a certain amount of footage at a time before you then have to like swap the whole camera over. And they're big, and they had to build a blimp to put it in because IMAX cameras are noisy. So if you're filming in IMAX and recording audio at the same time, it's near impossible. So they built a blimp around the IMAX camera to keep the noise in the camera so they could also record audio. This sounds decadent and unnecessary. I know, but people just like making art and having fun. I respect it. Also, here's my latest hot take, and I'm annoyed. So I find it cringe when society can't hold on to art as a foundational part of living. Everyone's like, logic this, practical skills that, blah, 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 blah. Art. Whether it's singing, whether it's storytelling, whether it's painting, whether it's movies, whether it's photography, whether it's whatever it is, a society that holds on to art is so important, and it just fucking pisses me off. Art and logic are not in opposition. No, they're not. They're one and the same. They're one and the same, and yet I feel like sometimes society does not value art in, Like, you see certain parts of society that value art, but capitalism does not value art. AI does not value art. Correct, Richard. Ah. You picking on my accent? Repent. Sorry. Since it's history night and we are Nolan and Art, I can do a 2-hour talk on all the things he got wrong in Dunkirk. Wouldn't it be fun? Probably would be, to be honest. I mean, we could find something. Detective Tato, repent. Guys, don't be mean to me. I'm very vulnerable. I'm very vulnerable. It's because art is intertwined with history and it's intertwined with process, and a lot of people don't really value either of those things. I wish I could be valuable. Oh, you wish I could be vulnerable. Oh. Well, you can be. Valuable too, but no, being vulnerable is something that you also get, I don't know, not a lot of people like it.
House deposit. So
At Mass Tapin made thanks King.
Well, Inquisitor Cream. Hello. Hey Queen, can you add me as editor while I'm here? Yeah. Moderation settings. No. Mod management. Wait, no. No. Content. Video producer. No. Guys, where do I go? Settings. Stream. Channel. No. Was I in the right place the first time? No, that's just mods. Yeah, but that's where I was. Inquisitor. Cream. No, because that only adds you as a mod, and I don't want you as a mod. Oh, yeah, it's Community Roles Manager. See? Look what has happened. Add new. Inquisitor Cream. Well, why can't I do it here now? Wait, I can't. Where are you? HI Aha. Here. Wait, it won't let me click on anything. Bro. Now it will. Editor. What does a lead moderator do? Do I need to make somebody a leader, or are we about equality in here? What? I can also add business manager and artist. Yeah, I know. I'm putting it back. Louis, stop complaining. Climaxing. I'm sorry. I do not trust you to be lead mod. And also, we don't need any more. I know sometimes it's just so unnecessary. No more mods, basement's full. It's not even that. Just like, you know, I prefer a chat with less mods. I feel like there's been significantly less trolls this year. I think just because I've gotten older, you know?
Wallach gifted a tier 1 sub to Beric. They have given
Wallach,
1,163
thank you for
gift
gifting
subs in the channel.
Barack. That's very nice of you. I'll only do secret cat stuff. No, but you can have a blue sub. She doesn't want to dilute her power. Unironically, true. Also, I don't want people to be in this community to climb it. You know how in certain communities, right, there's it's kind of it runs in a way where people are competing to climb. I don't want that for us. You know, I hope everybody just expects that everybody sees that I kind of, you know, there's a decent level of equality floating around in here. You have, lols. What kind of capitalist are you? Well, not one, really. I'm very bad at it. First, we have to get on the property ladder now this. What do you mean? There's a glass ceiling? No, I don't want anybody to climb. I'd want people to climb for me. I only want to climb if I get to have the 3 digits on the back of your card. You can have the 3 digits on the back of my card. There's no money on it.
Nah, yeah, okay.
I'm not going to lie, I do respect people who've been here longer. Paul, thank you for the 22 months and your prime. I respect loyalty. I'm like Taylor Swift in that way, you know. I'll be a father figure. Sorry. I drink that brown liquor. The only thing here to climb is you. Did you follow just to say that? I respect it.
Wallach gifted a tier 1 sub to aiming_low. They have given 1,164 gift subs in the channel.
Lol. Oh, you know who it is. Yeah. Inquisitor Cream. How do you not know who that is with the name changing? I can pick it up straight away when it happens. No, I was gonna leave and I remembered you're smarter than average. But didn't you just follow? What? Huh? Well, usually you can just call them DJ. Inquisitor Cream. Like the same way I would try and remember to call you Louie, but it's hard. The unfollow regret. Sneezing is the best way to get new followers. Regina, I swear to God. This is why I never changed my name. It would put too much pressure on you. And nobody should be putting too much pressure on me. I was following and I unfollowed and you said something and I thought to myself again, she's pretty clever. I'll stick around. Thank you. Thanks. I'm very grateful. I'm hanging on. Chat by a thread. But I'm hanging on. Yeah, what did I do to deserve the unfollow? Is this gentleman using the negging technique? Don't worry. It does not work on me. It only dilutes any attraction I once had to anything. What do the analytics look like on the sneeze compilation? Do they show how many people subscribe from that video? I don't look. Straw man. I don't look. What did they do now? What didn't they do? The men are always doing something. My 17 boyfriends, honestly, I have to rotate through them because I get so annoyed by them. You did nothing, I'm just on a purge? Oh, well, that makes me feel better. Toddy, true. Hello, pixelated Neo. Might need to bump it down to 15 for simplicity's sake. Yeah, but 17 is just such a nice round number. You know? You should make a follow-up, catch all the new sneezes. It's pretty old now. Blue. The trick to getting women to love you is to be asexual and never say anything stupid, and eventually it breaks their brain. Yeah, is that working for you? I mean, Pete Hegseth is making low T men do testosterone. Yeah, I saw that you can't be in the military if you're low T now. Gotta have that high T to be a good fighter. Gender affirming care for our troops. I tried that for a while, not sure if I'd recommend. That's really deep and interesting. Because, yeah, you shouldn't have to trick a woman. Unironically, being nice and funny will get you most of the way. And not weird. Will get you, even being like the right amount of weird, will get you pretty far. Oh, Pixels decided to come back now. I'm willing to share the blanket with you, but I do need some because it is cold. But there's a pile for you. Yes, hobbies are fun. That's crazy. Did you like that deep insight from me? Hobbies are fun. Wow, Pixel. What nuanced, incredible analysis you provide on a daily basis. Incredible. Unique. Blue. I think I'm becoming a problem with Taylor. I may have become a performance artler. Yeah. Yeah. I think Taylor Swift is living her public life entirely as performance art. To an extent. I don't know. Well, only time will tell. I'm a fan. I love Taylor Swift's music, mainly because I grew up with Taylor Swift and I think she's an incredible writer. Even though everybody thinks she isn't, they're wrong. She's an incredible songwriter. But no, I think she's living her public life as performance art. I think she's obviously got narcissistic traits for sure. What do you mean? She has to keep her persona and herself separate somehow or lose her mind. Yeah, and I think that maybe Travis is a part of the persona. No, I think Travis is part of it. Once upon a time, the planets and the fates and all the stars aligned. You and I ended up in the same room at the same time. And the touch of a hand lit the fuse of a chain reaction of counter moves to assess the equation of you. Checkmate, I couldn't lose. Like, I don't know. I think they're in it together. I think they merge dynasties. Like, I reckon they'll have some kids. I truly think, but I also think that maybe Travis Kelce is gay behind the scenes, and I think maybe, I don't know. I'm becoming a problem. I'm indulging all of the conspiracy theories. Yeah, but like, I think that's performance art with Glenn too. I don't know. What is this, bi erasure? I mean, he might be bi. True. But if Travis was a persona, would she have gone to such lengths for a private wedding? But it wasn't that private. She invited fucking everyone. And then Adam Sandler was the guy. Adam Sandler was a wild card. It's just a wild card. Part of me wonders if it wasn't their actual wedding. Like, I just think there's a whole lot of sneaky shit going on behind the scenes, and all we see is what Taylor wants us to see, and I don't know. 1,000 people in Madison Square Garden does not count as private. That's what I mean. I don't know. Only time will tell. I have to live long enough to find out. New reason to stay alive dropped, okay? Stay along. Let's stay alive long enough to find out if this whole thing has been performance art. New goal, good goal. Yeah, well, we've got June part 3 in the next little while. That's important. Outlander's over, so that's off the list of reasons to stay alive. I have to separate her image from her music in my brain nowadays anyway. Why do we always have to keep doing this with artists? Yeah, because she's a billionaire. Oh, my uncle called me. I'll have to call him back. He's like, hello, we haven't spoken for ages. I don't plan to marry, but if I do, it's going to be like max 3 people there, and I'm probably doing it for money or as a favor. Hello, would you like a Swedish passport? I am willing to discuss terms and negotiations. As a European passport, I'd love to be somebody's beard. Not incel cuck simp being like, my dream is to be someone's beard. Also, can I please be allowed to sit in the chair? A friend of mine got married in a forest with just his bride and a fishing, and honestly, that sounded divine. That does sound quite romantic. I don't know if I will ever get married. Who knows?
Tasty Velociraptor gifted a tier 1 sub to Corner Chairing Joya. They have given 1964 gift subs in the channel.
I would want a forest wedding if I was going to get married. If I'm being like, I would want a forest wedding. I don't want a beach wedding. I'll tell you that for free. Like, I'm not a beach wedding girly. If you see me getting married on a beach, it's performance art. I'm not even kidding. Chat, if you're here today and you ever see me get married on a beach, you know I'm doing it for the plot, okay? I'm grifting something. It's if I get married on a beach, it is performance art. Thank you so much, Lemon Slice 90. No, I love the beach. I just don't want to get married on one. You're marrying for money if it's a beach. Yeah, just keep that in mind. For sure. If I ever see you getting married at all, I'm assuming it's performance art. Also, I expect an invite. Chat, my whole life's performance art now. When Taylor does performance art, I do performance art too. You know, it's actually kind of funny that we're all kind of doing performance art anyway. Well, not all of us, but sociologically, in the way that social media works, people are doing basically performance art on a smaller scale anyway. Right? To some extent, this is performance art. No, it's not a Gemini thing because people are presenting themselves through an aesthetic lens that they are curating, right? Like, I can't remember. There's one philosopher that has a quote that it's like, if you, it's about your true self and your other true self and making sure that you don't lose yourself performing your first set. Do you know that there's anybody? I know there's at least 3 philosophers in here. Do you know the quote I'm talking about? Vibes chronically off with this one? Me? If my life is performance art, then I'm dreading the reviews. Don't worry, me too. Inside you there are 2 wolves? No. You know what I mean? No, it's not like Jekyll and Hyde. It's like, don't lose yourself performing yourself so that you lose your true self. Something like that, I think. There are 2 true selves inside you. No, but like you can perform yourself to such a point that you lose the essence of like what you are. Inside you there are 2 Muppets. One of the wolves is gay and autistic. I can't actually remember how it goes. Like you have one side that's performative? No, well, just the way social media works, and everybody has a side that's performative. Like I'm obviously not this cute and funny and smart when I'm just lying in my bed reading a book. Duh. Like how people code switch. I mean, code switching is different, but don't lose yourself in the pursuit of something greater. No. It's like... Oh, I think it's this one. We are so accustomed... Well, look, there's heaps of them, right? This one is... I can't pronounce. François de la Rochefoucauld. Rochefoucauld. We are so accustomed to disguise ourselves to others that in the end we become disguised to ourselves. That's basically what I was trying to say. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Damn, mine from Nietzsche wasn't quite as succinct. I mean, I'm sure it's along the same lines. Nearly every philosopher has a version of it, right? You mean people being so fake they lose themselves? It's not even being fake. But you can lose yourself to being fake, But for most people, it's not even that. They don't even realize what they're curating is not themselves. Like sometimes I look at my Instagram and I'm like, is this actually a representation of who I am? Also, does it matter if it isn't? Also, it's performative in nature, right? So it's kind of fake in nature. But it's, yeah, you know, and then you have Gen Z posting on Instagram in, you know, what is the authentic way, you know, the imperfect photos, and you know, it's curated imperfection, which is also performance. So like everything is kind of performance art, just based on the way society and social media works. Where's the difference though if it's not you? I mean, the difference is it sits somewhere different for everyone. The good stuff starts a few paragraphs in. Would you like a little read, chat? I haven't done a little read in a while. You can have a little read. But you are going to have to forgive me that I shan't be able to pronounce the French words. Well, that's not what I said, Donnie. Jacques Rousseau. Am I saying it right? Didn't just preach sincerity, he tried to live it even when it meant showing himself in an unflattering light. In Confessions, he infamously admitted to placing his 5 children in the care of the state orphanage where they likely died. Lol. It's tragic, wrong, and disturbing, but what's striking is how he tells us this without self-justification or spin. He claims he's not writing to impress, only to be honest. He doesn't seek admiration, just the cold comfort of knowing he told the truth, even if it makes him look awful. Unlike modern autobiography or the YouTube vlog where someone cries, then plugs in their merch, Rousseau, which I think I'm saying right now, isn't performing virtue. He's trying for once not to perform at all. It's all about being real. Be yourself is the thing now. Instagrammers, TikTokers, pop psychology magazines, self-help guides, even your cereal box tells you how to do it. It's everywhere. The desire not just to be seen, not just to seem natural, but to be is ever present. But behind our modern obsession with authenticity is our 18th century philosopher, already wrestling with this idea long before the puppy face filter existed. Rousseau might have viewed LinkedIn bios the same way he viewed powdered hair pieces, fake, stiff, and yawningly dull. He believed that true freedom wasn't just doing whatever you wanted, it was living in alignment with your natural self. The one crushed under social norms, labels, but especially our endless thirst for validation. Champagne! 73 and a sneaky tier 3. Thank you so much. Welcome on in. Sincerity was only possible in private life because social relations were full of norms, expectations, and virtue signaling. Modern society has turned humans into evolved monkeys climbing a social ladder made of appearances. Some hide behind filters and curated feeds, others flash academic titles or job promotions. The platforms vary, but the goal is the same: to be seen, admired, validated. And to Rousseau, there was something deeply fake and deeply damaging about this. That's why he sparked what we might call the authenticity cult, a countercultural rebellion against society's performance-based living. Let's be honest though, society needs those public morals to function. Thank you, he said, even though he wanted to scream. Lovely weather today, she muttered, in the middle of an existential crisis. Let's have lunch sometime. They both hoped it would never happen. These polite lies make peaceful, prosperous lives possible, so there's a case to be made for maintaining appearances. Rousseau might push it too far by claiming sincerity should be society's highest value. That road could easily lead to a world where cruelty is excused as honesty. We have to tread carefully here. After all, we don't want serial killers or unfiltered narcissists running wild in the name of just being themselves. Still, Rousseau raises an uncomfortable truth. Our obsession with being yourself online is rarely about actually being yourself. What we want is to appear natural, but in a way that still gets likes, followers, and brand deals. We're not removing our masks, we're just putting on a new one labeled authentic. It's the same old performance, just with better lighting and a self-care hashtag. Lol. It's like showing up to a costume party dressed as someone not wearing a costume, only it took you 3 hours to put the outfit together. So, is real authenticity and with it real freedom now only possible off the grid? According to Rousseau, yes. That's why in Emile, his book on education, the child is to be raised without social comparisons. Rousseau's idea was radical: educate a child by shielding him from the social influence so that his natural self could develop without vanity. The only book Rousseau allowed Emile to read is Robinson Crusoe. Not by accident. Crusoe's story represents the ideal of self-sufficiency. A man who learns to survive using reason and direct experience, not second-hand opinions. Crusoe is alone but free. No social games, no prestige contests, no likes. That's the kind of human Rousseau wanted to cultivate. Someone who forms his identity from within, not from external validation. Later, of course, Emile must return to society and learn to dance to its rhythm. Civilization has its perks. Rousseau wasn't telling us all to become noble savages, but he did believe that people should recognize the social hypocrisy around them, even if they had to play along. After all, you should have table manners. Being authentic doesn't mean being abrasive. Manners still matter. Even Rousseau, radical as he was, wouldn't want you spitting on the table in the name of sincerity. As the Russian writer Anton Chekhov is often credited with saying, though I've never found the exact quotation in his works, good manners are not about never spilling the sauce, but about pretending not to notice when someone else does. A little social performance can be a kindness, not a lie, but a form of grace. In fact, it's this kind of empathy, this ability to see the person behind the role, that lets us rise above the rules when the rules lose their purpose. True civility isn't rigid obedience, but knowing when to bend in favor of compassion. That too is part of being fully human. And while we may champion freedom in liberal democracies, freedom from coercion or permission, as thinkers like Friedrich Hayek or Deirdre McCloskey might frame it, Rousseau reminds us that there's also a more subtle kind, the freedom to think differently, to be ourselves even when it's unpopular. After all, what if in the name of freedom and authenticity we're just building new chains? One thing is freeing yourself from others' judgments, another is swapping one mold for another, this time with a shiny authenticity label from Silicon Valley. Maybe Plato said it best, not that human affairs are worth taking very seriously, but take them seriously is just what we are forced to do, alas. Because in the end, maybe Rousseau saw something that we still wrestle with, that we're all caught somewhere between performance and sincerity, between rules and rebellion, trying to figure out how to be free and decent at the same time. I haven't fixed this scene yet. Oops. Never mind. Interesting. I agree, Rokus. I agree with you up there. I just had a thought. If our thoughts and behaviors are shaped by our environment, but there's a separate self separate from that culture, is being yourself the nature as opposed to the nurture of your environment? Like, be yourself is a version of bioessentialism, since it explicitly separates you from how society shapes you in a nature versus nurture way. I mean, this is where I think I disagree with him, right? I don't think as human beings they should be brought up like separate from society. I think community integration as a child is really important, and like, but I can see how that would maybe stunt like your own internal development. Because I don't know what it was like for you guys, but I remember being bored as a child. Mum, I'm bored. I'll go find something to do. And when I was bored, I would go and find something to do. I think I'm pretty sure I just colored in a piece of paper yellow one day, right? Why? It's my favorite color at the time. But I remember being bored, and I don't remember being bored as an adult. It's interesting. And I do think sometimes that when you're a kid, your internal self develops when you're bored. Like, I had a crazy imagination growing up. I had an imaginary friend. Again, I was a really cool kid, but I had Pokey. And because I was the oldest child, like, I did spend the first 2 years of my life kind of alone. But like, neither of my sisters had imaginary friends. I can't even comprehend the concept of an imaginary friend, which is crazy, right? When I can nearly vividly remember my imaginary friend. As an adult, I can feel like I should be doing something. Yeah, but sometimes when I feel like I should be doing something or being productive, it's to the end of furthering the self that I already have, not necessarily in creating it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't often sit there bored. No, my imaginary friend was named Pokey. And then one day he left me for a girl named Broccoli. Get it out. One more. Good job. But before that, we did run away together. I was 2. I scared the shit out of my mom. You've all heard this story. But we did run away, me and Pokey. Like, I had an imaginary friend for like a good year. No, this is the first time I've heard that one. Chat, wait. You haven't heard that I ran away to my neighbor's house with Pokey? I climbed the fence out of my backyard while my mum was ironing, and I ran away with Pokey at 2 years old. I've always had a lust for adventure. How do you even remember that? Well, I don't know. Apparently you're not supposed to have any memories until 3. But I have a memory of my first birthday, and apparently that's supposed to not be a thing. There's no photos of it, no nothing. I also have a memory of reading a book with my dad, and I was like a toddler. Like, I don't know. Apparently our brains aren't supposed to be able to remember anything that young, but I don't know. Yeah, this is how you become a cult leader? Don't know. Maybe I created the memories, but my mum says that they happened. Maybe they've just been implanted more and more over time. I figure that those memories lack emotional relevance. Yeah, maybe. But like, the memory I have is opening a doorknob. What sort of emotional relevance is that? Like, It was my first birthday. I had a very pretty dress on, which I'm sure I only remember from photos. But I opened the doorknob of the first house that we lived in, and I remember opening it and looking up and seeing my great aunt and being so excited to see her because she'd come to my party. But all I remember is being very small and reaching up and opening the doorknob. And then also, I will just say at 1, I did already sing happy birthday to myself. It's been downhill ever since. But I was already talking, singing, and I cut my own cake on my first birthday. Again, all downhill since. I peaked really early, you guys. Way earlier than most people. At 1. Yeah, no, I sang happy birthday to myself at 1. At 2, it was Christmas, and I was going around and putting my dress over everybody's heads. So the fall was sharp. Forget peaked in high school, try peaked in preschool. No, literally though. I have a memory of my mum feeding me baked beans at a very old yellow wooden table. And I also remember hiding from her under that table when I got in trouble for finding my birthday present, the Barbie that I drowned. I remember rocking my sister in a bouncy thing. I remember dancing in like little tutus with my sister in like a very, very old living room. And I can almost remember how it smelt. Like it smelt like old furniture, if that makes sense. I remember my mum being really, really, really pregnant with my littlest sister because she was huge. My sister was 10 pound 8. She was a big baby. I don't know. I remember all sorts of things. I remember my mum forgot me at kindergarten. I still have the painting somewhere that I did when she forgot me. My earliest memory is my aunt carrying me in a backpack and looking at a lake. I loved lakes. I remember sitting in a cart, balancing it on the back wheels, and then falling backwards off the porch, knocking my head on the stone pavement. No, I ran away with Pokey long before that. Well, look, I ran away with Pokey at 2. The oldest memory I have is me getting out of a kiddie pool in my grandparents' backyard and running towards my grandma to dry off when I was 2, and there just happens to be a photo. I mean, that's the thing. If there's a photo, it kind of implants the memory, right? I haven't seen photos of any of that. Oh, do you know what I do remember? I remember having grommets for my ear infections when I was a kid. I remember one of the grommets popping out. I remember a really pretty green quilted blanket that I had as a kid. I remember burning my hand on my grandma's iron. I remember my grandpa yelling at me to polish my school shoes. My grandpa had OCD, I'm pretty sure. Undiagnosed, but I am 100% sure that my grandpa had OCD. Now, when I look at the home that my grandma and grandpa kept, that is some OCD. Like, we were not allowed to go to school in our school shoes if they weren't polished. That was when I was very young. But you learned to shine shoes? I did. With like the old like shoe shine. Like you get a black shine or a brown one, depending on I had brown school shoes early on. So you'd use the thing and you'd shine them. Make sure they were all done and then polish them. I remember watching MASH a lot with my grandpa. Oh my god, Will. Not you falling out the back of a car. Even though I have very vivid memories of the house and the things that happened there, I just don't have a wide enough frame of reference to find it again. Oh my god, Strawman, not the cigarette ashes. Well, that's the other thing I did. I drank eucalyptus oil. I tried to kill myself. Real young. And I remember I went into my nan and pop's room. It was like, oh, that smells nice. Decided to drink half a bottle. And I do remember being in the back of my uncle at the time's ute, sitting on my mum's lap, no seatbelt, nothing. And I had to go to the hospital in country fucking Mildura to get my stomach pumped. Do remember that. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, that's a bad oil to drink. Yeah, but it smelled real good as a child. Imagine I obviously drank it and came out and they smelt it on my mouth. Lucky they were like relatively supervising me. I must have snuck off pretty well to do that. But all I remember of that exact, like the details have been told to me. All I remember is like bouncing along the road, the dirt road to the hospital. Because, like, my family lived out in the middle of nowhere, you know, outside of Mildura. So, and we were there for Christmas or Easter or one of the holidays. And, lol. Well, do you know, my mum showed me a meme last night, as she does when she's doom scrolling. And it was, you know you're old because we used to make our parents ashtrays at school. Here you go, Mum and Dad. Here's a nice ashtray I made you at school. Do you like it? Pity, because I'd like to know if it's delicious or not. I don't think it tastes very good. I think it smells better than it tastes, almost definitely. I remember watching religious movies at my nan's house, David and Goliath, and the story of Adam and Eve at Noah's Ark on these like little religious fucking VHS videos. I remember that. You know, my dad smoked, and then my mum said, I'll buy you golf clubs if you stop smoking. And my dad one day just stopped smoking and took up golf. So, I think it was, and once, you know, they had kids. Art Clokey only did David and Goliath to fund his Gumby shorts. Well, I remember watching Gumby as well, so. My aunt smoked, and sometimes I miss the smell so bad. My first boyfriend smoked, and sometimes I miss the smell. I never want to smoke, but sometimes, like, if somebody smells like cigarettes, I'm not mad about it. Like, I don't know. It's not that bad. Also, I don't really care if somebody else kills themselves with the cigarette anymore. I used to be like, why do you not care about yourself so much? As I've gotten older, I'm like, oh, you have a vice? Me too. Cool. It's really funny how life is just swings and roundabouts where you both judge and don't judge people's behaviors. You have snus now, you don't need cigarettes. I haven't had any of the snus. They've just been sitting here. I haven't had any of them. I haven't had one. I could. But I haven't. Good. They're not good for you. A snus it's the little nicotine pouch that Swedish people use. Yeah. I did climaxing. It's not a chew. You stick it on your gum. You wouldn't even know. Am I doing something illegal if I show you what it is? And how little you would even notice if anybody was doing it? Yeah, everybody does, because nicotine is so like as we sit here talking about vices and where people talk about like optimization culture and stuff, right? Like they look like little pads, if I'm being honest. Oops. There's nicotine has benefits, right? And so a lot of like the optimization bros, they think about they look at the research around nicotine and how it's like super good for like your cortisol levels. What do you mean it'll set me off? I couldn't book it in. Wait. Yeah, we might just skip that. You're right. I don't think I'll do that. But yeah, it does have some medical benefits that some of the optimization bros think is good for them. I was just thinking, man, I wouldn't want the chemical dependency and then remembered I have 500 milligrams of caffeine per day. I mean, I have no chemical dependencies right now because I'm not even drinking coffee. Haven't had alcohol all month. I haven't had anything. I am living a life of the Amish right now. Nothing. I know. I'm a pure woman. The Amish who use computers. Yeah, that's my only stimulant at the moment, my computer. It produces a pleasant sensation. I know I did have a few while I was in Sweden. But it was also my first time. But back to what I was saying, I just don't care if somebody else has a vice anymore. I can understand why people wouldn't want to hang around people who have different vices to them, but if your vice is only harming yourself, I don't care. okay? I don't care. Enjoy. You know? That's life in a nutshell for me, pursuing pleasant sensations, nasty hedonism. I mean, I don't think you can do full hedonism because you never get anything done. But I can somewhat, I mean, I'm a little bit of a hedonist too. Not right now. But not right now, so I can be one again in the future. I bought an electric vacuum container for my coffee beans. No one can ever guess what my vice is currently. Coffee? I mean, I love coffee. I can't wait to be back on coffee. I spend my working days around people on heroin, so it would take a lot for someone's vice to shock me. I read today that adding a little bit of salt to coffee cuts the bitterness. I mean, it might be. I don't know, you've seen Fine Country Air did you good, I guess. I don't know if I'm fine, but hey. I've survived like in the state that I'm in for a while before, but I've lost too much weight. You probably can't see it, but it's been 2 weeks and I've lost a significant amount of weight. So that's not great. I did have a Gatorade while I was at my mom's. So maybe the blue Gatorade fixed me. Not the illegal Gatorade. Yeah, I know I'm a baddie. I'm a baddie who had Gatorade. I would have thought that'd be expected given you've cut out pretty much every caloric source. No, I had this morning I had a gluten-free pancake. It was dry, I hated it, but I had a chunk of butter on it. And then last night I again, like I was saying at the start, over the last couple of days I had perch and barramundi and potatoes and broccoli and carrot and salt and butter, and I got gluten-free Oreos, so I ate one of those with a cup of tea last night. Didn't make any difference. Don't think it's killing me. Don't really care. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep eating. Tonight I had rice and egg. And then I think tomorrow for breakfast I might, I don't know. It's just, it is a little hard at the moment, but. Now I'm hungry. Sorry. Oh, and I'm having pomegranate juice mixed with water. For some sugar. Keep me alive during stream. Oh, that sounds yummy. Love a garlic butter. I could go eat some more rice now, actually. Maybe I should. Because I might not be hungry. And there might still be some in the rice cooker. I could just go check. And I could eat the rest of it. Because I checked, and if you cook it and then just leave it heated for a couple of hours, the histamine shouldn't be very high. I might just go eat the rest of that. I might put sugar on it. Chad, I don't know if I should sing tonight because my office is near the bedrooms and everybody has gone to bed. So, I don't know if I should. I might do a good one tomorrow night, maybe. They've said it's fine, but I feel bad. Like, I'm always wanting garlic butter, but I never buy it because I'm like, I don't want garlic butter all the time. Vox. Buy a clove of garlic. And chop up a little thing of garlic and smush it into your own butter whenever you want garlic butter. Like, I don't use garlic powder. I just use, if you want garlic butter, you just smush up a piece of garlic and smush it into some butter. Is it really that simple? Yep. And if you put it on bread and toast it, it'll cook the garlic a little bit. Or if you want to get fancy with it and do roasted garlic butter, you can like roast it and cook it and then smush it into the butter. Oh, my darling. It's now, do you know what I like? I like a parsley butter. Like chopping up parsley really finely and putting parsley in butter, like a herb butter, is really yummy. I love how I'm sitting here pretending to be a food connoisseur when I'm literally eating a bowl of rice that I don't even want that has a tiny bit of brown sugar on it. And it is a goddamn chore. Like, I do not want to eat it. My body does not want this. But I've probably had, I don't even know, maybe 1,000 calories today if I'm lucky. Which is not enough, so. We've never had sweet rice. It's yummy. My biggest recommendation would be coconut sticky rice. You've never heard of sweetening rice until just now. You've never had rice pudding? You've never had a rice pudding? Huh. How interesting. Sometimes I'll just go to the supermarket and buy the little rice puddings and have those as dessert. Nah. Does the exclusionary process have an endpoint? And get myself to a point where I've got enough, where my digestive system has had enough of a rest, introduce the probiotic again, and introduce like a few foods at a time. After this week. So I will have done 2 weeks of like pretty decent elimination. Next week, I'll add in a few more things. I'm really hoping I might have a steak next week, have some iron. See how that goes. I'm hoping by the end of next week to introduce the probiotic. Because like I've been doing lots of stewed apples for pectin and carrot and but yeah, I'm just gonna see how it goes. Yeah, I love mango sticky rice, Richard.
Boy!
Tasty Velociraptor gifted a tier 1 sub to Steaktacular. They have given 1965 gift subs in the channel.
Sticky rice wrapped in banana leaves. Yeah, yum. Yeah, I just like rice. I don't know. I feel like I've been really good to my body. I've been having chamomile tea. And berries. I've been having blackberries and raspberries. An egg. Butter. Add a little bit of sour cream. The craziest thing I did was the gluten-free Oreo because I was going crazy and I was like, fuck this, I'm having it. Oh, I bet, Dottie. I don't know. I don't think there's too many categories of food that I would have missed over the last little while. I might have missed a leafy green, but I don't think my body would digest it now anyway. Indonesian food is really yummy. Beef rendang, pretty good. Nasi goreng, mie goreng were both really yummy. Pancakes with palm sugar, yum. What a chore. I know. I think one of the luckiest things about being Australian is the access to the wide range of foods we have. Like, we are such a multicultural society. I don't know. I don't know what that is, Vox. Like, you can get pretty decent variety almost anywhere these days. Like, you know, you can. But Australia is particularly good for it. No good Mexican food though. I had pretty decent Mexican, Richard, at Mamacita recently. Like it's decent. Like, it's not Tex-Mex. They've changed the menu from what it used to be. It's definitely not bad, and like all of the tortillas and stuff are all handmade in restaurant, and it wasn't too expensive. Ruby and I went there after seeing that Hugh Jackman movie. I feel like Mexican food feels lighter than Tex-Mex. Like Mexican food feels really hearty, but less heavy. But Tex-Mex is yum. Like, also, I love white people taco night. Okay? I love a white people taco night. Sue me. I don't have to have Brera tacos every time. Doesn't have to be a fish taco every time. I am so happy to put the taco seasoning in with the old El Paso. No, with some mince. Put that on one of the little corn hard shell things. Little bit of sauce, little bit of lettuce, little bit of tomato, some sour cream. If you're going a little crazy, you can even put some avocado on it, you know. I love white people taco night. Straight to food jail. I literally just ate a plain bowl of rice. Let me have this. Let me have this. Tacos de lengua? What are tacos de lengua? I don't know what that is. Taco season the rice next time. Well, not to be particularly white about it, but I haven't done any seasoning other than salt and ginger. Like the only things that have been seasoning it's salt, pepper, and ginger. What are some staple Australian dishes? It really depends on where you grow up. It's like meat and three veg for a lot of people. I would say staple is a chicken palmy. It's kind of Italian. I don't know. Basically, we steal some stuff and then a sausage and bread. Yeah, yum, Dottie. I associate meat pies with Oz. Yeah, at the footy. But like people will go to a bakery and just have like, you know, a meat pie and a coffee for lunch. Strawman, shut up. A halal snack pack? I mean, kinda. That's pretty Australian. I'm proud of your resolve to put yourself through this much tedium and not go completely bonkers. Mercury's in retrograde. What makes you think I haven't gone completely bonkers? I went to my mum's for 2 days. Your pattern recognition is slipping. My mum loves vanilla slice. Like, I don't know. Sushi and hot chocolate is wild. Don't remind me. If you weren't here, there was a time on stream where I didn't know what I was doing, but I did order sushi and hot chocolate. And it was not good. Like, it was such a crazy choice. Why did I do that? Does anybody remember? This isn't even in the top 10 going crazy periods I've observed. I feel like I've kind of got my shit together. You had a craving, you acted on it. No, it wasn't a trend. I just think this time, even though I've been sick like this before, I healed it. So currently I'm running on hope that I'll be able to heal it again. And so I just don't feel too stressed about it. That being said, I am stressed about it. Just not to you guys. What am I going to do? Give me money, I'm dying. Would that work? Banana and Sprite? No, Richard, that's not me. I don't know. I've never had that. No, 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 no. I had literal sushi from 7-Eleven. And no, I didn't make two separate Uber orders. I got them both from 7-Eleven. I did an Uber order from 7-Eleven. I got a bag of lollies, remember, and then they cancelled the bag of lollies or gave me a different one. And I ordered sushi and hot chocolate. I was going through something. Did you happen to try strawberries? Oh my god, the strawberries in Sweden are incredible. I did have strawberries in Sweden. They taste amazing. The one order is what makes it worse. I know, okay? I was going crazy. Not like now. Now I'm fine. No, I didn't have strawberries on pizza. I just tried the strawberries. 7-Eleven in Australia is okay, but it's not like 7-Eleven in Japan. Or anything. Like 7-Eleven in Japan is way better. Japan is the ideal snacking experience. Yeah, I did have a good time snacking in Japan. In fact, I think it's streamed. I streamed it. I tried a whole bag of treats in Japan on stream. Yeah, Sweden has really good strawberries. There's either a 7-Eleven or a Family Mart, Blue Wolf. I couldn't find the sushi and hot chocolate moment easily, but I found this. Do I want to click that, or is it going to give me psychic damage? Wait. I don't know what this clip is. I look young. Jesus Christ. Wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I just put my cup of tea down on the chocolate. Sorry, I didn't play that for yeah. Oh, that doesn't work. Window capture, properties, Chrome. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I just put my cup of tea down on the chocolate. That's crazy. How funny. 4 years ago. And nothing has changed. There's part 2 and part 3. What? Really? God damn it. Your hair is a lot more natural, that's about it. Yeah, it's weird actually. It's weird. It's also a lot longer. Like, I think it's almost doubled in length, probably. That's fun. Streamer gets existential crisis live. Yeah, it's because I got a funny tummy. And it's really, when you have a funny tummy, you get moody easier. You had your short hair era for a bit? I did, didn't I? Kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, when I got everything checked. Oh, yeah, I only wear that dark colored lipstick now. Or red. Because I didn't want to wear the dark one tonight because I was like, that doesn't go with this top. I don't really wear pink lipsticks anymore. I don't think they suit me. I really love that one color of lipstick. I'm turned into my mother where I'm like, I like this color of lipstick. It's my favorite one. I wear it every day. Is that weird? I'm assuming not that many of you can relate, but I wear like happy, I think it's called Happy Berry from Charlotte Tilbury. Night, Fuzzy. Have you gone as far as buying multiple in case they discontinue? I haven't. No. If it discontinues, I guess I'll just go looking for another one. I tried to buy a different one. And I did because they stopped stocking it. But then I bought it online. Hell yeah, Fuzzy. Yeah, chat, I think I'm going to feel too guilty singing tonight. So we might just keep it cozy and quiet and chatty until the end of stream, I think. My little doggy is out like a light on the floor. Chatting in this economy? Did you say guilty? Yeah. 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 No, my housemate has her mum here. So I don't want to be loud. But I'll be loud tomorrow. You can do a reading of song lyrics like it's slam poetry. Can your housemate sing? No. A little. You can't go wrong with a blanket. I just have to be careful because I'm sharing it with my dog. Have you seen the Cat Mail Company game that folks are streaming? It's quite cozy. Have you seen this game called Ember Shift? I played that. I'm not very good at it though. But I'll play it on stream once I'm a little better at it. You did great. I don't know about that. I'm rebalancing it today. Damn. Have you heard of this game from a small company called Cyberpunk? I love how everybody has their own game that they really want me to play. Play this one. No, play my favorite game. No, this favorite game. I still want to play The Last of Us. Damn, that pile of books. Has it... What? Is it evoking something in you? Like, wow, she's so smart and pretty. Gosh. Have all my money. Probably. Do you know that's not even any of my books? They're all out on a proper shelf. I just put that pile there for, especially for people like you. I just want some more Pro Dota back. I haven't played Dota in so long, I don't even know if I would remember how. All stolen books from her dad. They're not all stolen from my dad. This one's stolen from my dad, but I read it more.
Boy!
That's right. This is just me and my performative books. Give me money. What books did you end up getting from that box? What box? What box? Babstep, thanks for the 100 bits. That's a lot of books. Would you ever get a shelf for them? No, I like the aesthetic of the pile. Duh. What do you mean? I don't want anybody to think that my brain is organized. It's not. It's chaos in there. I didn't know whether the pile of books should be taller. You know, I didn't know if I should risk putting some of these books on top. You know? Or if I need more piles. Like, should I pile all my books in here? Like, maybe I don't have enough books right now. Maybe I need more of them in piles. Do you have the Odyssey in the pile? No, but I have the Song of Achilles. Speaking of the Odyssey, the latest tasting history is appropriate. Well, if you're gonna pull my leg like that. Hell yeah. Love this. I just have to set some things up. Hold on.
Even if you've never actually read Homer's Odyssey, I feel like most people know at least the basic plot. Essentially, Odysseus is on a really long trip home after the Trojan War. Along the way, he meets the Cyclops, the Sirens, a bunch of other monsters, but what usually gets overlooked is that he also eats a lot of food along the way. So today, I am going to recreate 2 of the dishes that are served to Odysseus on his journey home. So thank you to WildGrain for sponsoring this video as we cook for Odysseus, this time on Tasting Mythology. Still tasting history.
Ow.
So when I decided to cook something from the Odyssey, I knew that I had to do 2 dishes. Something new, of course, but then also this was just the perfect opportunity to let me have another go at one of the most unpleasant things I've ever made here on the channel, Kikion. Now, I first made that way back in 2020 when I first started the channel, and the version that I made was more based on the description from the Iliad. It was a thick porridge of sorts, and it was not good. Now, I did make an updated version in the Tasting History Cookbook, but even that was still really thick and probably should be best eaten with a spoon rather than drunk out of a cup.
Yuck.
But the version that is described in the Odyssey is definitely a drinkable potion. The drink is mentioned in Book 10 when Odysseus and his crew find themselves on the Isle of Aeaea, which, while a mythical island, is often suggested to have been off the coast of Italy, south of Rome. Mount Circeo taking its name from the sorceress who lived there, Circe. Not to be
Circe.
confused with my cat Circe, who is actually named after Circe from Game of Thrones. Now, when Odysseus and his men arrive at the island, his crew end up meeting Circe, who invites them so kindly into her home. When she got them into her house, she set them upon chairs and benches and mixed a mess of cheese and barley meal and yellow honey with Pramnian wine, but then drugged it with wicked poisons to make them utterly forget their homes. And when they drank the potion, she turned them into pigs with her wand and penned them up in the sties. And Circe flung them some acorns, fruit, and mast, food greedily eaten by wallowing swine. Now, Homer never actually says why she turns them into pigs. Maybe it was that she was trying to
And this was the beginning of Spirited Away. Thank you so much.
neutralize them. She saw them as a threat, or maybe it was just because she liked a good pulled pork sandwich. Regardless, what sucks for them is that while they looked like pigs, they still had the minds of men. So that's depressing because they remembered everything that had happened to them. Now, eventually, Odysseus would also be given this Kikion, but he did not have the effects that they did because he had been given an antidote by the god Mercury. Plucked from the ground, black at the root, while the flower was white in
Mercury. Pretty sure that's my chart ruler.
milk. The
Also in retrograde at the moment, so hold on to your hats.
gods call it moly, and to dig it up is a great labor for mortal men, but gods can do whatever they like. Now, despite what my doting mother says, I am but a mortal man, and so I was unable to dig up this moly root. So I'm going to not include any of the wicked poisons that Circe added to her concoction. So for this non-wickedly poisoned version of Kikion, what you'll need is 1/2 cup or 120 milliliters of Pramnian wine. So I'm guessing, like me, you don't actually have access to Pramnian wine, and I think you do have to say it Pramnian. But that was the wine that
I can't roll my R
on
that way.
Mount Pramnos on the
Pr- 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 How do I roll my R's? How do I chat? How do I do it? I can't purr. I sound like Donald Duck. How do I, while making an R? Yeah, I know, Tasty. Somebody Swedish told me how to do it, and then I could do it. Make a T sound. Pull your tongue back with your tongue at the roof of your mouth still. I can't. I can do that. Pramnian. I can't do it. I don't. I don't know how. Pramnian. I literally can't do it. I give up.
the island of Icaria, and it was the wine that was said to be associated with the god of wine, Dionysus. The ancients say it was a very dark wine and a very strong wine, and Aristophanes said that it was a hard wine, which contracts the eyebrows and the stomach, and therefore it should never be drunk without watering it down. You can't drink this wine straight. That is how strong it is. So find the darkest and the driest red wine that you can, and then mix it with some water. I am going half wine, half water. Then you'll need 1 tablespoon of grated hard goat cheese, like kefalotiri, and you don't want to use pre-grated cheese because it does not melt as well. Unfortunately, it seems that my neck of the woods is having like a Greek cheese shortage because I called all around and I couldn't find any that wasn't pre-grated, so that's what I'm using, and I just have to go into this knowing that, so do as I say and not as I do. Then a 1/4 cup or 85 grams of honey and 2 tablespoons of barley flour. So start by toasting the barley flour in a dry pan over medium heat for 4 to 5 minutes, just until it starts to darken up and becomes fragrant, and then once it does, you can transfer it into a saucepan. And I'm realizing now that I could have just toasted it in that saucepan so I didn't have to dirty up 2 pans, but here we are. Then add in the honey and set it over medium heat just to warm the honey, and then mix the flour and the honey together, and then once the honey starts to simmer just a little bit, you can add in the cheese, which should melt. Again, mine wasn't great, but eventually it did melt enough that I could add in my watered down wine. Once you add the wine, immediately take it off the heat, give it a stir, and then it can be drunk whenever you're ready to turn your guests into swine. Now, like I said, this is a very different consistency than the one that I made back in 2020.
I am considering it. Imagine just serving this to people and being like, see if it works.
That one was more porridge-like, partly because of the wine to barley ratio that I used, and partly because I used full barley groats back then, which is what you would use to make like a porridge. And in today's version, I'm using barley flour or barley meal,
The
which
mix
is
just sounds
more like
bad.
what you would use to make
It
a
doesn't sound
bread
like
or
something I
like
would
that.
enjoy.
And they still use it today in parts of Greece, namely on the Isle of Crete, to make a sort of hard barley bread. They call them paksimadi or barley rusks, but really they're barley hardtack. I bought these when I was in Greece in 2023, 3 years ago, and they're still just as hard as they were the day that I bought them. So
Yum.
good job to these for their staying power. Now, if you don't want really hard barley bread, then you want to probably make your own bread at home, like a nice soft wheat bread, a sourdough perhaps, using the bread from today's sponsor, Wild Grain. My favorite day of the
Seamless.
month now is when my Wild Grain box arrives at my door, because I know that within 20-25 minutes, my entire house is just going to smell like a bakery, because Wild Grain is the first Bake from Frozen subscription box that gathers breads, pastas, and artisanal pastries from small bakers
Charlie.
around the country and delivers them right to your door. They do all of the hard work. And so all you have to do is take the dough and put it in the oven and actually do the baking. 20-25 minutes and you're done. And the finished products are always unbelievable. They've got wonderful pastries,
Agreed.
again, like the croissants, and they have biscuits and
Croissant.
the best chocolate chip cookies. I know
Croissant.
I'm always saying this, but seriously, the best chocolate chip cookies. I've started to double up my order every time I get it, and I still eat every darn cookie. They also offer a number of gluten-free options and vegan options, and they have protein boxes
For me.
with things like protein waffles
I was
and
American.
protein biscuits. So check out Wild Grain by clicking my link in the description,
Awesome.
wildgrain.com/tastinghistory, or just click this QR code, and new customers will get $30 off of their first box, plus free croissants for life. And now on to our next dish. So, after Circe turns the crew back into humans, from pigs to humans, they kind of hang around for a while, actually a long while, because it turns out Odysseus has the hots for her. So they're there for a whole year. When they eventually do leave, though, they go through a bunch of different stuff. Odysseus goes to the underworld. They sail past the sirens. They navigate the passage between the monster Scylla and the whirlpool Charybdis, before ending up on an island filled with the sun god's sacred cattle. One of these men kills and eats one of the cattle, and in retribution, Zeus destroys their ship and kills all of the crew, save for Odysseus. So when Odysseus finally does get back to Ithaca, where he's actually the king, but has been gone for about 20 years, he is, alas, alone. Now, per the instructions of the goddess Athena, Odysseus does not just waltz on into his old palace and say, "Hey y'all, I'm back." And that's because since he's been gone, a bunch of suitors have kind of taken over the place and are eating all of his food and are wooing his wife Penelope. Instead, Athena turns him into a beggar, or kind of makes him look like a beggar, and sends him to his faithful servant and swineherd Eumaeus' house. And here Eumaeus shows him some of the first truly selfless hospitality that Odysseus has experienced in decades. Eumaeus went off to the sties where the pigs were penned. Choosing 2 sucklings, he carried them in, slaughtered and singed them both, then cut them in pieces and spitted them on skewers. Then, when all was well roasted, he served it to Odysseus, piping hot on the skewers, sprinkling the meat with white barley meal.
Oh,
Then
we're
he
having
mixed
that too, are we?
honey-sweet wine in a bowl of ivy, sat himself opposite his guest, and said, urging him, "Eat now, stranger. This is food that a servant can offer, suckling pig. My fatted hogs are eaten by the suitors, men that regard not the wrath of the gods, nor the call of compassion." And it is this pork that is going to be our second dish. Now, while I could just roast a piece of pork plain and then sprinkle some raw barley flour over it, it's going to be pretty gross, rather tasteless. And really, the sprinkling of the barley flour was actually part of a religious thing. They would do that in sacrifices and things like that. So instead, I'm going to use a little bit more barley flour and actually coat the pork for some flavor. And that will also let me use some of the other flavors that we know were being used during this period.
That's
this period
exciting.
not being Homer's period, but the period that the Odyssey is supposed to be taking place. The Mycenaean period, about 1650 to 1100 BC. Archaeology from palaces of this time show that coriander, cumin, fennel, and celery were all commonly used. And while eaten by the wealthy, they would have also been something, I think, commonly available to the common man, like a swineherd. So we're going to use some of those just to flavor up this pork. So to make this pork dish served by Eumaeus to Odysseus, what you'll need is 3/4 pound or 340 grams of pork. Any cut will do. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of salt, a 1/2 cup or 70 grams of barley flour, 1 teaspoon coriander, 2 teaspoons celery seed, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin or fennel. Both are very dominant flavors, so I wouldn't use both. I'd just pick one. So start by cutting your pork into bite-sized pieces, and then coat them in the olive oil and sprinkle with plenty of salt, rubbing it in. Then leave those to sit for about 10 minutes while you add the herbs to the barley flour and whisk everything together.
Yeah,
and
there's
then toss a few
nothing
pieces
green
of the
in
pork
this.
into
You're not
the
getting
flour mixture
explosive
and get
diarrhea.
them coated all over. Then skewer each piece until an entire skewer is filled up. Then you can either cook these over an open fire if you have a barbecue, or if you want to use your oven, you can pop it in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, 220 Celsius. Then roast them for about 18 to 20 minutes or until the pork is cooked all the way through. And while it is cooking, make sure to like this video. It really does actually help get it out there. It helps the channel more than I can tell you.
Everybody has to like the video.
As much as I just told you. And I can take a look, rather, we can take a look at the other foods mentioned in the Odyssey.
Dun, dun. Dun.
Homer's Odyssey is absolutely filled with talk of food, so I'm not going to cover everything because we'd be here all day. Plus, it does kind of get repetitive. They ate these same kind of things pretty much throughout. So I'm going to pinpoint a couple of the most important instances where they eat something, where we can also glean something about what the Greeks of this period, or probably actually Homer's period, which was some centuries later, were thinking about food. Because actually, the food in the Odyssey is not at all indicative of what the average person was eating, or even the wealthy people of Greece were eating at the time. Even though there are a few mentions of hunting, fishing, seafood, fruits, vegetables, they are sparse. Even though those were all staples of the diet. What you hear a lot more about is meat, namely beef, wine, and bread. And the beef, or rather really any meat that is mentioned, is only ever cooked roasted. It's never boiled, which would be the more common way to cook meat in years to come. In fact, Athenaeus, who lived 1,000 years, give or take, after Homer, commented on this, saying, "Where does Homer say that any of the Achaeans ate fish? They only ever roast meat." So I think it's most interesting to explore those
It was,
times
wasn't it,
when
Molotov?
either
I've
they
seen
were
that
eating
one.
forbidden
I
beef,
love this guy's
or
channel so
when
much.
they were
Max is
forced
the
to eat
legend.
other meat, like when they were on the island of the Cyclops. So one of the early stops Odysseus and his men make is to an island which is the home of the one-eyed race of giants known as the Cyclops.
Crazy.
And in need of food, they end up at the cave of one of the Cyclops named Polyphemus. Also, can we just take a moment to admire this late 15th century terracotta figurine of Polyphemus, which I can only imagine was the inspiration for the alien in the 1980s movie Mac and Me. Anyway, Polyphemus was a shepherd of sheep and goats, and while sheep and goats were something that a Greek hero could eat, they were really a B-tier meat, the S-tier meat being beef, of course. But in a pinch, they could eat that. But the thing is, those meats were really more associated with kind of common people. Even more common was the fact that Polyphemus was taking the milk of these animals and making cheese. Again, people were eating cheese during this period, people in all tiers. We know from archaeologists that everybody was eating cheese, but in literature, it's seen as a food for the common people. But when you are starving, you are allowed to eat anything, I guess. And so Odysseus and his men creep into the cave of Polyphemus. His cheese racks were loaded with cheeses, and he had more lambs and kids than his pens could hold. As for his dairy, all the vessels, bowls, and milk pails into which he milked were swimming with whey. When they saw all this, my men begged me to let them first steal some cheeses and make off with them to the ship. They would then return, drive down the lambs and kids, put them on board, and sail away with them. It really kind of makes you feel bad for Polyphemus. He's just gone through all of this work to raise these sheep and goats and milk them and make the cheese, and then these yahoos come in and steal everything. At this point, he is the one who has been wronged. But he's about to do something that really kind of makes the audience turn on him.
Yeah.
That's because when he finds them in there, he has a quick chat with Odysseus and then takes two of the men and smashes them into the ground. Then he tore them limb from limb and made ready his supper. He gobbled them up like a lion in the wilderness, flesh.
It's pretty grisly, isn't it? Like, I do have I have a pretty decent idea of some of the parts of this story, especially from Epic the Musical. They had it coming. But you can see how maybe this depicted in Christopher Nolan's might be fucking crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Bones, marrow, and entrails without leaving anything uneaten. And
snack.
after the Cyclops had filled his huge maw with human flesh, he washed it down with a drink of milk. And here too we get an insight into what the Greeks of the time were eating and specifically drinking. Because in order to escape, Odysseus decides he needs to get this Cyclops drunk. And so he pulls out a wine, which is supposed to be the best kind of wine. It was given to him by the Thracian Marin for thanking him for not killing him. Marin gave me 7 talents of fine gold and a silver mixing bowl with 12 jars of sweet wine, unblended, and of the most exquisite flavor. When he drank it, he mixed 20 parts of water to 1 of wine, and yet the fragrance from the mixing bowl was so marvelously sweet that it was impossible to stop from drinking. As I mentioned earlier, the Greeks would always water down their wine. Only barbarians drank undiluted wine. But usually it was, 1 part wine, maybe 2 parts water, 3 parts water, 4 parts water. So a wine that needs 20 parts water has to be something really, really strong. But that means it is the perfect wine to get a Cyclops drunk when drunk undiluted. So after Polyphemus has several bowls...
I actually find Cyclopses depicted as rather disconcerting. I don't know why, but it is disconcerting. Does anybody else feel that way? Just me? Like, there are some other, scary creatures that I find less disconcerting than a Cyclops for some reason.
Of it, he passes out, giving Odysseus the opportunity to stab him in his one eye so that they could make their escape. Now, unfortunately for Odysseus, it turns out that Polyphemus had like a really famous and powerful dad. Had like a really famous and powerful. Unfortunately for Odysseus, it turns out that giving Odysseus the opportunity.
What a depiction. He had a flute. Anyway.
Opportunity to stab him in his one eye so that they could make their escape. Now, unfortunately for Odysseus, it turns out that Polyphemus had like a really famous and powerful dad.
Who was a god.
Poseidon, the god of earthquakes and the sea. And so when Poseidon learned that Odysseus had poked his son's eye out, he got mad and basically said, okay, well, your trip back to Ithaca is going to be a very unpleasant one. So the next time that Odysseus had the opportunity to annoy one of the gods, he really tried to not make the same mistake twice. He was even warned 2 times to not make this mistake again.
Yeah, but
the first
he
was when he was
shit.
in the underworld and the blind prophet Tiresias told him that you already made Poseidon mad, but I think that you can still make it home to Ithaca all right, you and your men, as long as you don't screw things up when you're on the island of Thrinacia. There you will find the sheep and cattle belonging to the sun god Helios, who sees and hears all. If you leave these flocks and herds unharmed, you may yet, after much hardship, reach Ithaca. But if you harm them, I predict the complete destruction of your ship and your men, and when you arrive in another's ship, you will find your home overrun by men eating your food and wooing your wife.
Crazy.
Now the audience already knows that this is happening. We have seen that his home is overrun by a bunch of suitors who are eating all of his food and who are wooing his wife Penelope. But at this point, Odysseus doesn't know that, so he still has some hope that things might turn out just dandy. I believe that is called dramatic irony. Now Odysseus sees Circe, the sorceress, again, and she too warns him, you're going to run into some cows.
Be nice to the
that
cows.
belong to Helios. Don't touch those cows. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And so maybe because she felt bad about turning his crew into pigs, she even gave them a bunch of food so that they wouldn't be tempted to eat those darn cows. Unfortunately, they ate pretty much all of the food, but because Odysseus did not want them to eat those cows, they were forced to wander in search of game, fish, and fowl, whatever might come to their hands. Now today we might think of fishing and hunting as manly pursuits, but in Homer's time, less so, because they were the pursuits of the common people.
And God forbid,
wealthy or
you're
heroes
common.
Didn't need to
The worst
hunt
thing
for their
ever.
food or fish for their food because they had domesticated animals that were there to feed them. It was only poor people who couldn't afford those animals that had to do the hunting and fishing. But again, they were hungry, and so they needed to do what they needed to do. Unfortunately, in every group, there is always someone who screws it up for everyone else, and on Odysseus's crew, that man was Eurylochus. While Odysseus was sleeping,
I'm sorry, but the look of the cow in this painting is truly just like, why me? I thought I had the protection of a god. Like, that cow. Like, look at his face. It's like, bro. Help.
that man was Eurylochus. While Odysseus was sleeping, Eurylochus convinced the others that so long as they sacrificed one of the cows to the gods and then promised to build a temple to Helios when they got back to Ithaca, they should be good to eat just one of them. And while this was a bad thing for them and for Odysseus, it's a good thing for us because it's going to give us a glimpse into the sacrificial practices of the day and some decent detail. Essentially, they get the cow and then they stand around it and pray and take oak leaves and put it onto it because they had run out of barley. Originally, they would have thrown barley on there as part of the sacrificial practice. After they prayed, they killed the cows and butchered them. They cut out slices of the thigh, wrapped them in 2 layers of fat, and laid pieces of raw meat on top of them. They had no pure wine to pour over the flaming sacrifices, so kept pouring on a little water from time to time, and roasted the entrails over the fire. When the thighs were done and they had tasted the inner parts, they cut the rest up small and put the pieces on spits.
I see.
Now for me, waking up to the smell of bacon cooking is just one of the best experiences a person can have. For Odysseus, waking up to the smell of beef cooking was really not a good thing, and
He's like,
he
"Fucking
says a little
guys.
prayer to the gods who were going to be mad,
You
and
really
then
fucked
goes and
this up."
chastises his men, and then kind of resigns himself to the fact that they are screwed. Then they actually keep eating the cows. They kill like 6 more, but eventually they get off the island, and Zeus sends a thunderbolt and destroys their ship, kills all of the men. Odysseus is the only one that survives. Eventually, he makes it alone to Ithaca, where Eumaeus makes him a dish that I'm about to eat right now. And here we are, the Kikion and roast pork with barley served to Odysseus in Homer's Odyssey. So I'm going to start with...
You know, it's looking pretty beige. It's looking pretty beige. No one tell Joe.
Odysseus in Homer's Odyssey. So I'm going to start with a piece of the pork here. I'm not sure that like the crusting is actually going to make like a crunchy crust, but it is going to give it some texture. And again, it's there more for the flavor. It smells good. Definitely smells like the cumin. That is the dominant odor. If you're going to use fennel, that's going to be the dominant odor. So you don't really need that much in comparison with the other spices. Here we go. Actually, that's quite good.
I mean,
Simple, but rather flavorful. I think if it was over an open fire,
sure.
even better. You're going to get a lot more of the
Ain't none of none.
open fire flavor.
Thanks to the 100 bits.
But the pork is nicely done. It's good. It's good. And now, my friends, the Kikion.
No, take
I'm having
3.
flashbacks to the first time that I drank this. This is much more liquidy. It is more like a thick
I think
wine
it's still
rather
gonna
than
suck.
a watery porridge. It's a pretty color.
It's a nice cup.
There are still a bit of pieces of cheese kind of floating in it, but I think a good deal of it
Okay.
integrated. Anyway,
Best of luck to you.
cheers.
Still bad?
Okay.
We've gone back in for a second sip.
I actually think that I saved this. That I've made a version that is something a human would want to consume.
You think?
Has a lot more honey in it.
Okay.
The wine is watered down, so it just mixes better. It's not super strong of any one flavor. The thickness from the barley flour, it is thicker than regular wine would be, but it's not chunky like the when you use full groats. The cheese is not necessary, not just because there is kind of a texture to some of the pieces that haven't melted, but it's more that it's a rather salty cheese, and they would have all been rather salty. But it's actually pretty good. Not so good that I actually need to keep drinking it, but I don't hate it. And I
had some
hated
improvement from
the first
last
one, I will say
time.
that. So I'm going to call that a win in my book. Yeah. No, mine doesn't have any poisons in it. No wicked poisons, no baneful potions. So there is that. But, you know, other than that, it's pretty spot on, I think. Who knows? Homer was not really writing a recipe book. He was just writing down, you know, we were lucky to even get the information that he actually left us. Anyway, I think that I'm also going to do a video on maybe what the Trojans would have been eating.
Great
what we know
idea.
about Trojan food. So maybe keep an eye out for that. I haven't started the research and I never really know. So I don't, maybe I shouldn't even mention this.
You're
Too late.
crazy.
Hopefully I find some good information. I can make a Trojan meal from the Iliad. Anyway, I'll see you next time on Tasting Mythology, on Tasting History.
Thanks, Max. You're the best. Our hero. Yeah, so the movie's gonna be crazy. Imagine some of those things depicted. You know, men turned into pigs. You know, the whirlpool maybe. The Cyclops eating the humans could be crazy. I don't need to see the movie. Max already told it better. The incels will have a new cause. Climaxing, stop it. I'm still skeptical it's going to be engaging enough for me to enjoy it. I don't know. Two women that I trust have... I didn't read their reviews, but they've given it 4.5 stars. And they are not easy women to please. So I am nothing if not extremely curious. Maybe we'll do that one tomorrow night, Strawman. I'm curious because of the praise it's getting. Yeah, me too. Please, can you give me the link, Perms? Mods, can you permit Saraid? I'm not clicking your link though. I'll have one of the mods click it. Love me some Nolan. I mean, I have liked a lot of Christopher Nolan's movies. I saw Ad Effect. Well, how am I? Oh, so rad effect. Oh, saw a deflect. Oh. I see. So raid. There you go, you can post your link. I'm only interested because it's a cosmetic. So raid. Post the link, you're permitted. You're running out of time. Oh, it's a game cosmetic? Oh. I thought you were asking my opinion on a lipstick. Oh. Oops. Yeah, oops. Forgot about that. Lucky we weren't fucking bitching. You have the best sweaters ever. Oh, you're so nice. How's Pix like this? She's pretty good. She got groomed today. If she wasn't sleeping right now, I'd pick her up and show you guys her pretty haircut. But she smells so nice and she's so cute at the moment. She's out like a light and she's got her little paws folded like this. She's just the cutest dog in the whole wide world. I actually got the sweater that Trya bought me off my throne arrived while I was out visiting my mum, and it's so nice. I can't wait to wear it tomorrow night. But it's definitely more of a Friday night top than a Thursday night top. Oh, like a mauve, like a dusty pink mauve color. I feel like because of how I'm sitting, this scene is better. Oh no, what's this?
I'm the sweet white.
Well, yeah, we're in the more couch scene. If you're here, by the way, I'm not singing tonight. I just think it'll be too loud. So, and everyone will be asleep, so I don't want to do that. Respectfully, Boo, I know I'll make up for it on the weekend. Trust me, I will. Could I trouble you for a tarot read instead? I'll pull one card for you. I'll have to go find them. Hold on.
Tribute to the Oracle.
Since she's awake, I can. Maybe she'll want to sit up with me. Do you want to hop up here? Pix? Do you want to hop up? Here. Come on. Here. Here. You want to hop up? Here. Hop up, show everybody your new haircut. Come on. Now I just have to ignore her. Hop up. No, I wouldn't go to streamer university. Like, I don't want to be that kind of streamer. I'm okay with what I do. Oh, who gave me money? Oh, great. You're so nice. Thank you so much. Here. Hop up. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Oh, who's that? Say hello, everybody. Hello, do you like my new haircut? I got groomed and I am the prettiest dog in the whole world. Yes. Oh my gosh. I smell so nice. Hi, my poggies. My tarot deck is a botanical tarot deck. And it uses the language of flowers. Oh. The heater is off now, so because it's cold, she doesn't do as well with her cough. Great. Are you asking a question? I'm only pulling you one card, or we'll see what happens. I probably should clear the energy from this. Hold on. You don't have to share it. I can just tell you. It'd be interesting to see if it's one of the cards that I recognize or something like that. Oh. Oh, that one wants to come out too. Hold on. Usually I have to do this on a table, but interesting. You pulled the 8 of Swords into the 6th of Coins. Let me have a look. Because they're both reversed. So the reverse of the 8 of Swords is that solitude can have a healing effect and it gives you the chance for new possibilities. And then, what did I say? Was it the 5 of Coins? No, the 6 of Coins. Just here somewhere. But it's also reversed, which is a little bit of pain before gain. So my suggest is that, my read is that, I don't know what your question is, but a little bit of inner self-work and a little bit of time to process things is probably decent. A little bit of pain before gain. It's what the card says when it's pulled upside down is that that success is hidden behind the brambles. So if you look at the card, it's the success is hidden behind the brambles of the berries. And then with this one, I can show you the card too. They're really beautiful. I always find it interesting what falls out of a deck. Is it relevant? Great. My friend often does better readings than me because I actually haven't done enough with this deck to know all the cards. Very relevant. Well, I'm glad. This is called the Botanica deck. Again, it's not that I necessarily believe in tarot or will ever get to a point where I like make all my decisions based on tarot cards. But sometimes I feel like they can just drop out a perspective that you might not have considered. And also I think they're pretty. You know? Like it's just another tool. Yeah. Definitely don't think they're demonic or anything. Like, they make me feel connected, especially because this is a plant one. And I think that, like, plants and being connected to the world like that is pretty nice. It was bought for me, Vox. Because you can't buy your own first tarot deck, and this is my first one. Have to be invited in or it's no good. I've been thinking about future direction and such a fair bit lately, still navigating the challenges of the changes from the last year. I feel like it feels so constant, right? I'm navigating changes from the last 2 months. I live in a whole new fucking environment. So, I I understand. Do you know, I am grateful though, specifically for stream because that I don't really have any other constant. So it's been really nice to come back and for you guys to still be the same. And by the same, I mean still here. Ever considered asking God? I was raised Catholic, Baxter. Which God am I asking? I don't think God's very nice sometimes, or at least the Christian God. I think, do you know what I prefer about just thinking about spirituality through like the guise of tarot or astrology or things like that? It's that it doesn't necessarily claim to be moral. Sometimes our mothers and fathers give us what we need, not necessarily what we want. Yeah, I don't think any mother and father need their kid to have cancer and die. I don't think any mother and father, I don't think any child deserves to be abused. I can't wrap my head around. I can't wrap my head around that. Like, I would consider myself a relatively moral person. Like, I have some flaws like any other person, but I don't need the fear of heaven or hell. Like, I'm okay to stop existing if I die. Go back into the cosmic soup. Maybe reincarnate. Who knows? I'm okay not knowing. So I'm not entirely sure how everybody sees that God gives you cancer or causes abuse. Well, I mean, why would God not stop that happening? Like, if you believe in God, right? Why would he not stop that? You've been given free will. I don't believe in free will. I'm a determinist. Like, I believe in some semblance of free will, or like even the illusion of free will, perhaps. But the more scientific you get about anything, unfortunately, it doesn't require your belief. I mean, this has been a very deep philosophical conversation for a very long time, right? Free will versus determinism. And I mean, I've watched on this stream several presentations about why it is extremely difficult to argue against determinism. So you can believe in free will. You can believe in that. But one thing leads to another, and it doesn't always make sense, and it can be you're judgmental. I don't think I'm particularly judgmental. I don't care that you believe in God. But you told me I should believe in God. I didn't tell you you should do tarot. You can believe in God. You are so entitled to your faith, and if your faith makes you a better person, if your faith provides you comfort, good for you. I'm not going to sit here and preach to you about why you shouldn't believe in God. I'm not doing that. Free will isn't biblical. It's a concept that was invented by Greek philosophers after the New Testament was written. It's fine. If I have to say it again, I was raised Catholic. The priests in my church were pedophiles. I literally am so close to the pedophile scandal in the Catholic Church that I know people who were directly harmed by the Catholic Church and the pedophiles at the Catholic Church. So please forgive me if my experience in that situation has left me relatively unamused. Also, I don't really like the patriarchal notions either. I don't like that, like, women aren't allowed to speak spiritually or with any sort of spiritual authority. When I think women give so much life to the world. So yeah. For me personally and my lived experience, I just try and move towards something that feels empowering for my own understanding of spirituality and whatever the fuck this is that we're doing. Yeah, Clint. Baxter, I think your assumption that I haven't armed myself with knowledge, like, there is a time on this stream where we did philosophy and religion nearly every week. I think we're all just trying to make our way, you know? Like, there are definitely some people who have relatively harmful traits, and yes, the villi fox. I don't mind that. Shame mine are flattened at the moment. You used to watch The Atheist Experience all the time, but at a certain point you've heard all the religious arguments, they never change. My favorite creator at the moment is No Nonsense Spirituality. She grew up Mormon, and she adopted children, and her spirituality is not so much to do with like the disillusionment of the ego or anything like that. It's just more about understanding that we're here and exploring, and everything's a little weird, and you can be good and connected to one another, and you know. I mean, there's so much that goes on in the Catholic Church. Like, I honestly, I wouldn't even want to know. Like, truly, pedophilia might just be a part of it. Like, it's so common that it, like, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I mean, I agree with that, Baxter. I agree with that. Yeah, just throwing it scary, hey? I just, like, women were treated as property in these religions. That's a hard thing to ratify, right? Like, that's a pretty hard thing to come to terms with. So you understand that we're eternal beings and no pedophile in the world could take that from you? I don't know if you can tell that to the victim of a pedophile. I think that's a dangerous take to have. Oh, just thrown. How funny. I just don't. Yeah. I think I'm an eternal being, but what are you going to say? Like, I think we could all be part of one eternal being. That's why you feel more connected to some people than others. But I don't know, I think a lot of patriarchal religions were written by men during a time when women were property, and that gives me an ick. You belong to what you understand. You also belong to what validates your life choices, right? You don't want to be an eternal being. I like to think we'll ascend. I hope I turn into a different kind of conscious energy in the universe. Maybe I'm reincarnated on a planet billions of years away. You know, who knows? And I'm some sort of octopod, or who knows? I think so, Fox. I had an ex whose dying wish was to embody a tree. I mean, I don't know, a lifetime as a tree could be interesting. Maybe we all become the energy orbs the ghost hunters find in rundown buildings. Who knows? I have had weird shit happen with the universe to me recently and historically in a way that I never would have believed. And to me, that indicates that spiritually, I am at least on the right track for myself. Just me, the scarab beetles, and the plants. I mean, I'm okay if we call like bean soup God. Like, if we call the eternal cosmic soup God, I can understand that, but I don't think God is a man who created the planet in 7 days. That's what I'll say. Oh, for sure, Professor Fappington. You could search the world and never find such good goop.
Scarabeetles versus jumping spiders.
Well, I don't know. Did scarab beetles and jumping spiders fight? Thank you for the 72 months and the sneaky tier 3 try. I'm very grateful. Also, I'm very grateful for the top too. I'm so excited to wear it tomorrow night. It's so pretty and it fits me so well. I sat down on my laptop last night and I went to put like more gifts on my throne because I know some people like sending me gifts. I couldn't think of anything. I don't know. Like, do I just What do? Put more nice stream tops on there? Probably, but it's hard to think of. And I don't even know where to go looking other than that one website that works. Like, I really couldn't think of anything else to put on there. I need new moisturizer, but I got to buy that tomorrow. Socks? I have so many socks. I'm so good for socks. Like, I know there's things that exist that would make my life easier, but I can't think of any of them. Cat beds? Well, funnily enough, Cashy has taken Pixel's bed. My sweet dog. She's bedless. My little darling. Because Cashy has claimed it. So she does not really sleep on the bed anymore. No. I don't think she wants it anymore. Tonight though, we did get Pixel and Minna really close, having a treat. They were like this close, having a treat and both being really normal. So we might get close. Hopefully Minna just starts to feel safe around her because Pixel won't attack her or anything. It would be nice if they played, but it would take us a while. The fact it's not tons of shiny cardboard baffles me. Can I put magic cards on the throne? Guess I probably could. You know what I really want? ASMR. It's good night for an ASMR alert. Thank you so much. I'm extremely grateful, Anon. Why wouldn't you? Well, I didn't even know where I'd put them on from. A chicken? Guess we're settling for jazz hands? Well, I can't sing tonight. I think everybody's asleep, all the lights are off, I'll feel bad. So I think you get lo-fi conversations. You know what I can do though? I can put the jazz back on. For some ambience. Yeah, but I don't need any more sealed product. Like, you know, if somebody wanted me to send me, maybe I do put a Lord of the Rings collector box on there, but it's $3,000 fucking dollars or something crazy now anyway. I don't even know. It's so much money. Not yet Buffalo Caesar. I think we'll watch it tomorrow night. It's $4,249. I think I'd rather spend the $4,000 on something else. Do you know what I mean? Guys. That's crazy. Also, if you weren't in Discord, I have to pay for my car to have a... No, that one's like 10 now, party hardy. I've got to pay for my car to have a service. And I have to replace the battery and I need new front brakes and they have to do something to the back brakes. And at this stage, it's costing me about $2,000 or $1,870 or something. So that's my next expense. It sounds really busted. It's actually not. but my brakes have been a little squeaky for a while. It is a proper part, and I do think most of it is the labor. Crowdfund the car expense on Throne. I just pay for things myself if we hit the goals on stream. Like, it makes me feel bad asking for like specific things on Throne. Do you know what I mean? Our washer dryer might be broken. Oh god, that sucks. Like, all the appliances here are mine. Washer, dryer, microwave. But we have a rice cooker now. It's not mine, but we do have a rice cooker, and it's a good one. It's in Japanese. Did it take me a little while to figure out how to use it? Absolutely. Is it my new favorite thing? Also, yes. Yeah, you can make
No
all
more
sorts of
gaming.
things.
No more porn. No. We're going to go back and learn how to dance.
This should surely cover all the car repair costs, at least if the car was a bicycle.
Not you fucking flexing Swedish bicycle fucking culture. Lol. That's so funny. So does that, I can't read the number. Does it say 68? Or 88? Should we be concerned? Someone's gonna fix that. Uh-oh. Guys. Please, $1. Oh, I didn't consider the total. Yeah, I know. It's fine. People were born that year. The internet has co-opted everything. Look at all the positive people who don't want to see the bathing suit pictures, i.e. no AI pic will accept Tasty. It's true, I did say if we hit both the goals, I would show my Bert and Ernie bathing suit. Not in person. I'll find a photo. But like, no, my brakes make a noise. It's definitely time. They mentioned it at my last service, and I've been driving around on them ever since. They did say it wasn't urgent.
No more gaming. No more porn. No. We're going to go back and learn how to dance.
This should cover the car repair costs, at least if the car was in China.
Not okay, so we've got the Swedish representative and the China one. Perfect. Stunning, no notes. Wish I had one of the new electric cars. But in order, I feel like my friend
History tax, not bathing suit tax.
herstory tax. Slay. I'm very grateful, thank you. Not certain. Could find a Bert and Ernie figurine to dress. Yeah, maybe that's how I'm scamming you all. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Like, my car is fine to drive. It just makes a noise. Sometimes. That's all. Which is a little rough.
Boy!
Tasty Velociraptor gifted a tier 1 sub to Bert and Ernie Live. They have given 1966 gift subs in the channel.
I'm literally only here. I don't even care that much. I just didn't want it to be easily AI-able. Hold on. Where did I wear it? In Thailand. I just remember Kerry saying to me, she's like, "Do you know you look like Bert and Ernie?" Hold on. You curious where Bert and Ernie came from? Hold on, I'm finding it. Oh, hold on. Um,
Boy!
It's a driving me crazy.
Stop. I'm just zooming in. Hold on. It's wild how close people are going to have to look to see how it works, Bert and Ernie. Also, I never post bikini pics because it's not that I feel weird about it for some reason. Because I'm covered in tattoos. But you can't really see. Can you see how it's like Bert and Ernie? Like the pattern? I don't know if you can see the stripe. But it's very weird to like zoom in and like show the stripe. Because it's on a boob. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't post any of those ones. But there's that one lady. I can't remember her name. And she sits there and she goes, "Take 1,000 naked photos of yourself. You might think, oh no, I can't do that. I'm too spooky. I'm too scary. But trust me, one day you'll want to have photos. Sometimes."
I want to break free without any squealing tongue.
Damn, this break's getting paid for. Thanks, guys. Is it too late to ask who are Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street? I have heard that. Who was it? I can't remember who it was, but it sticks in the back of my head every time I'm feeling like insecure or, because like I don't really post anything because I sometimes feel a bit weird about like, I don't know. I don't want my body to be the most interesting thing. Yeah, I don't know. I have an interesting relationship with it because of ballet and stuff. But I'll always want to have some, So they exist, but so I can look back when I'm like really in menopause and be like, damn, that was fun. Look how good my tattoos look then. Am I, Drum? Which one? Climaxing, I am not zooming in on the boob. I can show you the actual bikini. No, don't leave me. Don't. I'm having such a good time cuddling. I don't want you to go. Can't you stay? Please stay. Fine. Yeah, it was Catherine O'Hara. That's right. She died, didn't she? I feel like she died. But she said that. She's like, take 1,000 naked photos of yourself. You won't regret it. Oh, you might think, oh no, I'm too spooky or whatever. Get it out. She also forgot about Kevin twice. Not fucking Kevin. Maybe I'll pull a card for myself. Shall we find out? I definitely do not have a Playboy account. My cousin's an ex-ballet dancer and staying with me for a while as of tomorrow. Is there any ballet terms I can learn to seem cool? You could be like, well, if something's really difficult, you could be like, that sounds as hard as 32 fuetes. What do we get here? We got the 3 of Cups and the 4 of Wands. Oh, that's crazy. The path diverges ahead, and while only one branch may be picked, all paths have merits. Pick any option, success will follow. But then I got the... Oh no. I didn't get the... I got the 9 of Wands in reverse. Oh my god. This is crazy. Obstacles are in the way, weakness and ill health. Well, that's funny. It's nice to know that any choice I make is the right one and success will follow. But the fact that weakness and in ill health are still just going to be a thing, god damn it, that's so funny. That's crazy. Okay, tarot deck, thank you. That's so funny. I mean, if only you had people cheering you on. I do, and I'm so grateful. Can I have one card? Sure. You want to ask the question or you just want to vibe it into the universe? No, 32 fuertes, Evan. It's in the universe. Thanks, Graboa. I don't know either, Fox. That one might have to be in somewhere else. Oh. I don't know this symbol. You got one of the Arcana cards. You got the star. You got the star. It did come out in reverse, and it does suggest that there is like a blockage of some sort at the moment, an inability to focus. But on the other side of that is intuition and transcendence and dreams. So I don't know if that means anything, but it's jasmine, known primarily for its dreaming, intoxicating scent. It represents the transcendence of earthly desires into spiritual ones. Its fragrant white blooms glitter like stars in the moonlight. It's the card of meditation and insight and taking the time to find peace. But because it's upside down, it may suggest you're having a little bit of a struggle with that at the moment. I don't know. Any help? I know, isn't it beautiful? I'll just show you some if you like. I prefer picture. I'm not sure it's directly related, but there's a tangent. Well, it's never directly related, to be honest, unless the question is asked with like context. You never know. Why is the fruit? What? I don't mind them. I feel like I haven't been doing this very long, but I do feel like the longer I do it, the more they start speaking to me, and the more I understand what certain like houses of cards mean. You know, the same way, like the same that happens with astrology and stuff. Spiritually fluent, but I can't tell you off the top of my head again what a lot of them mean. Like I know a few, but like I couldn't. Do you know what I mean? I'm not there yet. I haven't memorized it all. Luckily, I have so much time. Unless I'm dying. Which seems unlikely. And if I am, it's hopefully slowly. For now. I'm busy all this week. Please don't die. Well, my plans this week are literally work tomorrow. I'm going to go get my nails done. So that'll be really nice. But then work tomorrow. I'll try and make more scenes for the vertical. And then Saturday, obviously, go see the Odyssey. And then Sunday, work. So that's the rest of my week. And hopefully it's nice. Oh, well, I better go take my last pill. Or maybe I'll be able to sleep without it. Maybe I should save it. Like maybe I'd just be able to sleep. I'm yawning. I'll see how I feel. Those things are like gold. I know, and I've only got one left. And it's not like I can go back and be like, hello, can I please have some more benzodiazepine? It probably is. Try it. Stretches help, but I'm not trying to be annoying. I already stretched today, actually. I stretched this morning. Benzos don't work on me. Well, they've definitely worked on me. One of them didn't work one night, but they've mostly worked. Chat, we can raid MDA, who I truly didn't even know was a streamer. And I respect that, because like they've literally just hung out here for ages, and I didn't even know. So let's do that. I know nothing. We'll go find out together. Is it 009? I know nothing. We'll go find out together. Is it 009? 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 Chat, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks, Fox. Thanks for saying that. Chat, I'll be back tomorrow. Chat, thank you for having a fun, nice, quiet night tonight. I had a nice time. Thank you for having a fun, nice, quiet. I'm gonna go warm up my feet. I'm gonna go warm up my feet and read my book. Be kind to yourself. I heard someone say, who would say such a thing? Be kind to yourself. It's okay. I have decisions to make coming up, but I can't make a wrong one, even though I'm weak and sickly. The tarot card said. So we're chilling. The tarot card said. Is that a The Will of the Many today. Do you know, guys, my dad read The Will of the Many. He's just finished. He loved it. Do you know, guys, my dad read The Will of the Many. Do you know how good it feels to recommend somebody a book and have them be like, yeah, this fucks? Do you know how good it feels to recommend somebody a book? The most powerful you can feel, especially when it's your dad. No, backyarders, don't read me. We're raiding out. Okay, we're just, well, no, backyarders, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. But we're doing the same fucking thing. Thank you so much. We're off to MDA. We're doing the same. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Hi, and goodbye. Good night, everyone. Farewell. Hi, and goodbye. Good night, everyone. Farewell.